Geography jokes. I have pressed the record button, by the way.
You have pressed the record button. Can you all see the map?
I can!
Okay. Just making sure.
Matter of fact, I'm going to make one change and ruin it for everyone.
Yep. Good evening. I'm your host, Ellie, and tonight I'm joined by Beth, Crash, Io, and Jen. It has been 2 days since the fire that burned Dunmarch to the ground. Adelina, Devon, Caracinda, and Old Rob continued their journey to the Academy, where Devon studied as a youth. They were welcomed in by Roderick, who recognized Devon from their days as students, and brought them to Professor Boda's study. There, Boda told them that Queen Livia has been confiscating all artifacts that come into the city, and that something suspicious is afoot. Let them spend the night in the dormitories and gave them free access to the kitchen, and, in the morning, asked that they go investigate the mage tower they'd described to him the previous day. Unable to resist the call to adventure any longer, the four geared up from the Academy's storehouse and set out for the tower. Once there, they discovered that the front door had a magical effect that prevented anyone without a particular trinket, or perhaps a particularly shaped trinket like the one Devon was given by the Ugogs in Dunmarch, from opening it, although Adelina was oddly resistant to the frisson it gave everyone else who touched it. Once they made their way inside, the adventurers, Rob hates that word, itinerant investigators, explored the ruins of the tower. On its second floor, they discovered the library of whichever wizard had owned it, and set to work organizing and reading through it. Devon accidentally placed his hand on another trinket that looked like his fire starter, but Old Rob successfully noticed that all the lights in this room looked that way too, and indeed, it was a lamp. But looking out the window to get the measure of the remaining day, Caracinda saw the barrow complex below the hill, and dancing in the middle were two strikingly familiar Ugogs. The name of the place is the Tower of the Unknown Wizard. This is Plus Ultra. Anyone have anything to add?
Don't look now, but it seems we've got company. Oh, yeah, we picked things.
Yes. You are all now proper Cypher characters.
Speak for yourself there. Who you calling proper?
Improper and proud of it.
It's alright, I have enough proper for everyone.
Oh, good. Be sure to share with the class.
Weight off my chest. This might be the first time that Caracinda and Old Rob have agreed on anything. Or at least admitted. Actually, no. It's possible that even now they won't admit that they agreed on something.
Why should we?
I find
that -5 was directed at me, not you.
Oh. Uh-oh. Ellie's counting down. Bad thing happening in -5, -4.
No, I'm noting the time when we started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, there's also that. My story's sillier, though.
Yes.
Also, we might want to mention for the recording what we picked. For example, Old Rob is a brash speaker who sees beyond, although in Old Rob's point of view, Old Rob sees beyond the bridge of his nose. I mean, how could you not have noticed that thing right there? That's the same color as everything else, the same texture as everything else.
And tune in tomorrow when we're all going to be playing characters who no longer D&D Beyond.
No, I have an add-on and found
Gotta throw a fish at you, whippersnapper. Gotta throw fish at you, whippersnapper.
Okay, Caracinda, what are you?
Intelligence, skills and knowledge, adept, who heals the sick, which is a Eobrew thing.
Not really, I just combined some things and gave it to her.
I mean, that's sort of Eobrewed. Thing because I have objections to the T3 for Works Miracles. That it just does not fit how I see the character.
I thought it was the 4 and 5 you really objected to.
Yeah, 4 and 5 I really object to, and T3 it's where I start squinting.
But we'll deal with that when we get there.
Yeah, they're sort of Schrodinger right now.
TRDL, Beth didn't like the tea, so EO brewed some different tea.
I need more tea. Anyway.
Speaking of Devon,
He has I almost said fixed. No, there was no fixing involved. He has picked his focus, which is would rather be reading. The surprise is no one.
Absolutely no surprises here.
Nope.
And Adelina.
Adelina is a blacksmith who is strong and also a warrior. She crafts unique items, and she's a Felta, in part.
The short one is the strongest. That tracks.
Tune in 2 weeks from now for the All Kobold campaign.
In which we have no strong characters. I mean, they're strong characters, but they're not strong characters.
Although, the strongest character, if you just go by strength attribute we've had in any of our games, was a Kobold Barbarian.
That's true.
Yep.
We won't mention how many magical items the Kobold Barbarian had equipped in order to be the strongest character. Just that happened. So, those things out there, those are those Ugogs, right?
Looks like. Yeah.
Yep.
Same ones or not?
Don't know how to tell them apart.
What do
I
they
don't wanna
want?
be that guy that says all Ugogs look alike.
I'm sure they don't look alike if we study them enough, but from this distance, they're lucky I don't call them an ergot.
They're going to send us to the
Adelina
Healer Zone if we keep using
facepalms,
that word.
thinking of those guards.
They're down there heading towards the tower.
They are in... So there's a set of barrows. And to be clear, that's not wheelbarrow. That's mounds of earth. With stone structures sort of haphazardly around them. It looks like there's a path. And they're playing the way kids play out in the middle of the barrows.
Suppose we could go down there and catch them.
Do we need to? I mean...
Make them say where our towns are. Sorry.
I feel in our bones that the plot is dictating that we should go down there and confront them. But also, I feel it in our bones that it is our duty to not do what the plot tells us to do.
Yeah, but I want our townsfolk back, and they might know.
They're just kid Ugogs. Might not know at all.
The adults are just as intelligent, let me tell you. According to the stories, anyway.
Brats is what they are. Whippersnappers.
All right.
Those
Well,
things look like we could overpower them. If we catch them.
could try talking to them. That might work.
Maybe. It's anybody's guess.
All right.
String them up by their toes. And
Maybe not you going down there then. Since you're all looking through books and stuff, I'll go down and talk to them. See what they want.
Now, hold on. At least one of us that knows anything about Ergot should probably be going with you.
Okay.
I'll go with.
All right. Let's go see what they want.
Devin, I'm going to go traipsing down.
By the way, for the record, old Rob did in fact know the difference between Ergot and Ugog. He did it deliberately to get under Karacinda's skin.
Oh, they are kind of siblings, aren't they?
Karacinda is ignoring.
I suppose if you're all going down, then I should come along.
Stick a book in your pack. Make sure that you got something to read.
You
the
say that
book
like
I
I
found.
haven't been
In my head canon, we're all going downstairs, but Devin is taking up the rear with a stack of like 15 books.
I have a sack
Yes, but it has
full of
limited
books
capacity.
now.
Okay, so you're all... Now that Devin has filled his sack, you're all traipsing downstairs.
Karacinda has stuck a book into her pack as well, if it seemed like it was at all pertinent to her interests.
Old Rob found that one book last session, and he hasn't let go of it yet.
Devin failed his role to find useful books, failed it quite badly, and has therefore resorted to just putting as many books as possible into the sack.
Okay. You have quite a few. You traipse downstairs. The downstairs is exactly as you left it. That was not what I meant to do.
I'm glad, because I, for a moment, thought that was what I had done.
New text!
While trying to move my character. Collides with at least one wall. I would like to move Devin to the... Oh, good. Excellent.
There we go.
Thank you.
I suggest that we close this here door so we don't get Ugogs infesting the place upstairs.
You say that like there might not already be some.
Didn't catch any infesting it, so we might as well close it just in case. These Ugogs at least shouldn't be in there if we can avoid it. And take away their keys.
I don't know if they have keys. We didn't have keys.
I had a key.
You had a key.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to go talk to them. And I open the door and go out, try to find them.
Okay.
Maybe we should also go out and Devin should close the door behind us.
And what, I should stay in here?
No, you should close the door and come out with us.
All right.
Not in that order.
Then come out.
You still got your finger. So.
I said not in that order.
Yes, I'm not climbing out a window. I would prefer to avoid climbing out windows.
They're kind of skinny windows, too. You'd get your horns caught. You'd get your antlers caught.
I'd get a lot of things caught.
Uh-huh.
Are they antlers? Thought they were horns.
They're antlers. They got little spikes on them, see?
They're sort of both.
As you close the door, there's sort of a shimmer that goes across it, and you once again can't tell which of the two doors the plate is attached to.
Hang on to your key.
If Old Rob has
yes, I don't.
Sorry.
Huh?
If Old Rob has a moment.
If Old Rob has a moment to where the doors are then closed, where he can put a hand on Karacinda's shoulder and touch the door again, he does it.
Karacinda is going to smack his hand. I am going to get myself a ruler. It was worth it.
I'm already halfway down the stairs.
Going to get myself a ruler. Going to hit you with it over the head. Whippersnapper. We're the same age. Says you.
I do not own any tokens. Oh wait, but there I am.
Oh, here we go.
But
I would like to be able to say the same.
And you see the map.
I can see the map.
I can see my character. That's it.
I can see the map, and I can see some...
I have
weird light stuff going on the blackness behind it.
I can't see anyone else's character. I put mine on the map. Whoop, there he goes.
What did we...
I can't see anyone else's character either. I don't know, but it's not black for me quite.
This map is called the Barrow.
Oh,
what's going on?
That's a lot of,
Duplicating Devin.
Reading. Devin picked exists in 3 places at once. It's a new high-powered focus.
No, he did not.
Better than exists in 2 places
He did not. Nor does he have any way to cast illusions.
Yet.
I don't think that's an ability he can get.
Yet. They're ciphers for all kinds of things. They're single use, but they're useful.
Mm-hmm.
And they're often handed out randomly, which is even better. Can I go underneath it? Nope. Old Rob climbs over top of this hinge right here. Actually, no, it's not technically a hinge.
Oh, weird. That's funny.
Yeah. You have to go around, I think. Nope, didn't work for me.
It makes sense because it would take extra effort for the map to be designed so that when we go underneath that pile of stones, actually, I think the plugins are installed for us to be able to do that, but
So here we go.
It's not something I'd take the time to do. Still amused that old Rob's name takes up 5 squares. If I make it longer, it starts cropping the text. So 5 squares again.
So I don't have tokens for them yet, but the Ugogs are basically here, and they haven't noticed you yet.
They haven't noticed us?
They have not.
Well, time for me to open my character sheet.
Oh.
Because I have things I can do.
I think that I'm going to go try to hide in these... Are they just trees or are there bushes as well?
There can be bushes.
I'm going to go try to hide over here.
Okay.
Gonna lean up, semi-hiding against the stone there, and peer around it. And can I use my scan ability to try to figure out what Ugogs are sort of like as creatures medically when I'm not distracted by everything burning down around my ears?
Sure. Let me double check what that does.
Abilities.
Medical scan. So, Karacinda pulls out an ultrasound machine.
Tricorder. I want a tricorder.
You have Edge 2, so this is free.
Yay!
Yes, you...
Did I roll anything?
Now that you're observing them, like observing them, there's nothing necessarily magical about these creatures. They are... No, you don't have to roll anything.
Oh, okay.
They are, and the ability requires that I tell you that they're level 1 creatures. They are shorter than Adelina by a good foot. They have, and I'll just remind you of their description, they have long, very sharply, they have green skin, thick hair on the top of their heads that's either black or really dark green. They have big eyes, sharply pointed and very long noses. Their nose must be at least 4 inches long. Toothy grins. They have
look like meat eaters.
They probably will eat meat, yes, but their teeth are all very sharp. You can more easily see them eating a cow than a carrot.
Carnivore teeth.
They have very long fingers in proportion to their palms. They have very skinny arms in proportion to their torsos. And their legs are shorter than you would expect them to be. And they have big feet. They are wearing clothing. It's not fantastic clothing. You might not consider it clothing, but they consider it clothing.
It keeps this recording PG is all we need to know.
Right.
So they're probably carnivores. They are intelligent enough to wear clothes, but not really great at actually making sturdy ones. They can probably climb.
It's judging by the condition of the clothes, it might be that they're intelligent enough to make clothes and would be perfectly skilled if they cared about them. Like, these are like tattered and torn. They have seen a lot.
Did you say what their ear sizes they've got? Do they?
Oh, they have ears longer than their noses that come out to a point.
So they probably hear decently.
Yeah.
They
As
could
far as I
probably
know, nobody
smoke
said anything since you got past the stone gateway thing.
Okay. So I'm pretty close to where they are, so I'm going to walk up a little bit and say, hi, what are you doing?
Ah!
Oh, I'm not here to
Rob.
hurt you. I just had a question, that's all.
You were going to ask something?
What can I discern that differentiates between these two Ugogs? Or are they...
One of them is taller than the other. No, they're not functionally identical. Now that you're looking at them, one of them is taller than the other and has, they have the typical, like what you'd expect from species variants. One of them has slightly lighter skin. One of them is slightly taller. One of them has longer hair. You can't tell, like, if they have more than one sex, you can't tell. But, it's basically, they're not clones of each other.
Okay.
But they're not, it's possible they're related. It's possible that just all Ugogs look like this. But Karacinda and Old Rob, these are the Ugogs that you met in Dunmarch.
Well.
Okay. Does either of them look like they're going to bolt?
Well, they did scream.
When Adelina said hello, they both leapt about a foot in the air and clung to each other, and now they're staring wide-eyed at you. They haven't said anything else.
Okay. So if there's a choice between who this affects, I'm going to pick whichever one has more mass, thinking that if they're clinging to each other, it's going to be harder for the other one to actually flee. I'm going to attempt to use Enthrall. While talking, you grab and keep another creature's attention, even if the creature can't understand you. For as long as you do nothing but speak, you can't even move. The other creature takes no actions other than to defend itself, even over multiple rounds. If the creature is attacked, the effect ends. This is an action. This is the only thing I can do. But after Adelina says hello, and they jump, cling, and return to the Earth, not like a SpaceX rocket, except slightly more spectacular. You two! Good to see you again. Lovely fine day, is it not? Why, I was just thinking the other day about turnips. You know, turnips are great. You can put them in stone soup. I was telling my friends the other day about stone soup. You know about stone soup? And I just keep on rambling. Every thought moves on to another thought. Don't spend more than 5 seconds on each one. Basically, stream of consciousness me.
Okay. While you're doing that, the other one is saying, hey, we know you. Don't we know you? Do we know you? You were with
You might.
You had the Giona. Where's the Giona? I don't see the Giona.
I don't have it.
Hey, why aren't you saying anything? Hey. And he's shaking the one that's not affected by Old Rob is shaking the other one who is absolutely entranced.
Oh.
And every now and then I will ask, like, so you know what I'm talking about, right? And stuff like that, like the kind of like looking for clues that you're paying attention. By the way, I don't respond to any of these in the negative. I'm just acting like everything is being agreed to.
Okay.
I'm not actually listening. This is possibly a flaw in my character, not an actual motivation. I want to know where my story goes next, basically. I have not mentioned turnips again.
So, how did you two get here?
I think I'm not supposed to tell you. Didn't he say that? Hey. Yeah. I'm not supposed to tell you. I'm not supposed to tell. Well, wait a minute. If I'm not supposed to tell anybody, does that mean I'm not supposed to tell him? And he points at the other Ugog.
I don't know. I don't know what your rules are.
Oh. I don't know.
Huh.
That's what I'm supposed to say. I don't know.
Okay.
Instead of what? What would you say if you weren't saying you didn't know?
Oh, I tell you about the tunnels.
Oh! The tunnels! Oh, yeah, those tunnels.
Oh, you know about the tunnels? Oh, then it's okay to talk to you about them.
Of course it
Sure.
is.
Yeah, of course.
Which tunnels are you using?
They are perhaps not very clever.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that
I'm wondering if
impression.
they're children, you know?
My story has moved on to briefly talk about how earwax is great for styling a mustache.
Well, we made tunnels for a long time because the surface was scary. Remember how the surface was scary, and so we made the tunnels?
Oh, yeah, I remember the scary part.
And so one of us dug a tunnel in a direction nobody had ever been before. And it took a long time.
Came out around here, did you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I put some of the stones in this entrance to the tunnel. Do you want to see?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
I sure do.
I put them there. I was helpful.
Good job, you.
Excellent, excellent. There are a lot of Girona where you come from?
Yona. No, but I only met one.
One with us or a different one?
And yeah, it was with you. But it was scary. That was a scary Giona.
Oh?
Is the Giona here?
Might be around somewhere.
Oh,
Best be good.
okay. But I'll show you where the tunnel. I'll show you the tunnel. I'll show you where I put the rocks.
Thank you, thank you. By the way, where'd everybody else get off to? You know, all the people who are in the town before it burned down.
Oh, they're inside.
Inside the tunnel?
No, inside the barrel.
The barrel.
The hill. It's called a barrel.
Right. Which one is? There's a lot of barrows around here. One of these?
Oh, they all. Yeah. He starts leading you down toward the barrow to the southwest because north is to the left.
Following along cautiously. Glance over shoulder to make sure that Devin is actually paying attention, that Devin is apparently terrified.
Devin is attempting to follow sneakily.
I'm continuing.
Devin
to
does
tell my
not
story.
want these people to see him in the light.
I'm continuing to tell my story, but because I'm following, it can no longer have the effect of enthrall. It's just me telling a story
right.
now.
You're just chatting to the one who's been listening to you.
Yes.
David, would you give me a roll at 6, please? This is taking into account several things on your sheet.
Several. Okay. I will give you a roll.
That is a 2. Okay. That's a thing you don't know yet.
Curses.
Just as frustrating in Cypher System as it is in D&D. I like that.
Okay. Just a moment, please. Because I have to do a thing.
So I did a search for the word several. And there are multiple GIFs that are just a screen cap of several people are typing from Discord. But they added shake to it. I'm talking about it instead of posting any of them because they're all shaking enough that I would find it disturbing if I had to stare at them for too long.
Too much shaky cam.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. This one
Okay,
is
this
shaking
is
at all.
either going to be really annoying or really not annoying.
Let's find out.
And I'm not sure which yet.
Oh dear.
Not own any
I don't have a token of vision in the scene.
I see a little orange box.
Oh, well.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
I've zoomed in really far so I can't see beyond these walls. Wait, what?
So you can see hopefully, the layout of the barrows and how it's arranged relative to the overworld. You should be able to see the stone passageway up to the upper left.
Which one?
Yuna has. The Ugog has. Beth, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Where did we come in from? Is there like a hole that we just dropped down, climbed down, or?
No, there was an entrance in the side of the hill.
Is that at the lower?
And that entrance is here.
Left?
Okay.
Okay, so that's where we...
So Devin just came down.
Yeah, just to the...
his distance. That makes sense.
After you. Right.
Okay. And so where are the Ugogs leading us?
The Ugogs are to your left where the white circle is.
Okay. You're going to have to give them a token one of these days.
Yes, I am.
You can give them Burp's token, although it doesn't quite work. Since Burp has no nose.
They keep saying that you don't put fresh bread in an icebox that's supposed to get moldy faster. But I found that if you let it sit there for a day or two, it counts as a vegetable. That's good eating.
The Ugog is continuing to... I know that... Actually, I'm not sure 100% that you can't do this and walk at the same time.
It specifically says in the ability that I cannot...
And in fact, I might adapt that.
Well, the thing is...
Because not being able to...
provide a roll.
Right.
This is the first round of Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
But not being able to pace... Not being able to pace while you're giving a lecture just seems wrong.
I mean, I can talk with my hands.
No, I like the sort of docent, but I might, like, if you're obviously leading them into danger, I might ask you to make a roll to keep it going. But otherwise, I'm going to say, yeah, you can go ahead and you can move when you're talking. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that you can't.
By the way, I have
after all, how'd you get the Pied Piper if you can't move? Sorry.
I have also explained how sheep's bladders can be used to prevent earthquakes. They don't.
I'm imagining this. And do you know how sheep's bladders can be used to tell earthquakes? No. Good. They can't.
Sounds about right to me.
I will award the GM
anyway, so
inspiration. Inspiration. That wasn't me.
Oh, well, somebody did it.
It was me.
Okay.
The smaller of the two Ugogs is leading you down. Don't do that. Toward this doorway here.
Okay.
The other one is following rapturously behind old Rob. Just absolutely enchanted by what old Rob is saying. This is the most a non-Ugog has talked to this Ugog in a long time.
Wow.
I wonder how many vocabulary words he's picked up. Not their meanings, just the words.
Right. And the smaller of the two Ugogs points to several of the rocks in this doorway with the stairs leading down. Says, hey, see, I put those here. I helped.
Very good.
Oh, sorry, Io. Io was muted.
What are these glowing, pulsing runes?
They are honestly not in the right places.
They should be 2 feet to the
and
left.
Actually, everybody go ahead and make me what's essentially a perception roll, and go ahead and give me an argument why that should be lower than a 9 for each of your characters.
Well, I've got scan as an ability here, so...
And scan isn't going to help you here, really.
I have skill and identifying.
Is this regarding the runes?
Kind of.
Because if it's regarding the runes, I do have an asset in magical theory and training in both theory and practice.
All I've got is
Okay.
remembering things. I remember things real well if I've experienced anything like them.
I have
I've got Master Identifier. I don't know if that works or not for this.
Also, I apparently have an asset to my next 3 knowledge-based skill rolls.
You do. All right. Old Rob, you do have Seeing the Unseen.
I was
See
going
the
to bring that
Unseen.
up, yes.
Ah.
I automatically.
And so, Old Rob, go ahead and
objects that are normally invisible, out of phase, or only partially in this universe.
Oh, then you don't need to roll. Everybody else,
I
please
see
go
that
ahead and
fourth wall
give me a
over
roll
there.
against a 9.
I did pay attention to the woman behind the curtain. She calls herself the
I don't think a
DM.
5's... I don't think 5's going to do much, even with some good stuff. Oh, 19 for EO and 13 for Jen.
Okay. So that's 3 advances for EO, 1 for Jen,
None for me.
none for you.
So
but
sad.
I'm sure they will point this out, and then you will not need to roll to see it. Over here, this is where one of these glowing runes should be.
Oh.
I was not paying enough attention when I chose the map. Over here, with this other white circle, I am deliberately not making them green. There is sort of like a Star Trek force field. You know, it's glowing around the edges. And
Fighting the urge to
behind
put my
it-
hand on it while I put my hand on someone's shoulder.
I will smack your little fingers. Just see if I don't.
I totally interrupted Ellie, and I'm sorry.
it's fine. I had to look something up anyway. EO, you get a minor effect if you want to think about what that is.
I'm not sure what I'm rolling for.
No, the effect is because you rolled well.
Yes.
Yes. Right, but I don't know what the minor effect is because I'm not sure what I'm rolling for yet.
Am I correct in saying what we notice is, well, 1, there's a force field there, but 2, there should be a rune there, but there isn't? Or we do see a rune there, it's just...
No, the rune is there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a rune on the floor there, and it's glowing. I tell you what, EO, the minor effect can be that you can identify the rune, because it happens to be in one of the books that you picked up.
Neat.
And what you identify, the rune that you identify is that it creates a stasis field.
Oh.
And indeed, behind that shimmering force field, you see a bunch of the people from Dunmarch. And they all seem to be in the middle of panicking. But they're not moving. Like at all. So, old Rob, Catalina, a bunch of people from town who are standing still in the middle of freaking out. No, it was not.
Okay.
Devin, you can identify the rune on the ground as what's keeping you from moving. They are stuck in time. Karacinda, you can see that the tunnel that the Ugog is proudly showing you goes off toward the west, and it goes a long ways. There aren't any lights. So it goes like a little distance. It goes off toward the west, but you can't see how far because the light diminishes so quickly that...
Do Ugogs have big eyes or something so they can see in the dark?
They do have big eyes.
So that... What do you use for light on such a long trip, or do you just go by feel?
Oh, we don't use light all that often. Not when we're underground.
What do? You hear things?
No? I just don't need it. Do you need light? I can.
Fair amount. See, my ears ain't as big as yours.
So you can't come into the tunnel then?
Oh?
Because you couldn't see. You might trip.
That's right, I might. I have to bring a light source if need be.
That's what shins are for.
By the way, bumping into things. People bump their shins into things, they get bruises. And then I have to put a paste on them to make them heal up right.
Yeah, I had a bruise.
Oh, you had a bruise?
Hurt.
What happened?
I fell over.
You still got it?
No. That was a while ago.
Oh, what happened that you fell over?
I tripped over him.
I'll do it. So, who gave you all the things that made the fire start? Those seem pretty dangerous.
We found them.
Ah, very good. You're saying exactly what you were told, aren't you? Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I hope that whoever gave them to you would say something nice. Person who gave them was that lady wearing a brooch that looked a lot like one of those?
No.
Oh, good. All right. It's not her then.
No.
I mean, you're sure?
Yeah.
Human?
What's that? What's a human?
Oh, human looks like him a bit. Well, that's what some of them look like. Look a little bit like me.
Him.
No, of course not. Wouldn't be him. He wouldn't be giving the trinkets to people without telling anybody else he'd done it.
I do it in a heartbeat.
No, it would.
Look like her? Point at Alina.
No.
What it look like? What color?
I don't know. But
never saw him?
No, I never saw him in the light.
Oh. That's tricky.
So what's everybody else doing?
Yeah, what's everybody else
doing? Adelina's going to go over and look through the thing with the rune to see if her parents might be in among those.
Okay.
They don't usually
go the wrong way.
Town, though. It's the wrong way?
I'll move you over.
Okay, just put me somewhere in there. I think I have 2 now. I'll just... Okay, I have 2. There we go. Well, we'll get rid of 1, I guess. Delete 1.
I don't see the second one. Huh.
Second one's higher up.
If you're moving your character at the same time someone else who can move your character is moving your character, it creates a ghost character that only one of you sees.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Your parents do not seem to be in there, but not everybody in the town seems to be in there.
Okay.
It's a very small space. You have to stack them.
Stack
means there's probably more here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin, what happens if you move the truck?
Devin is still staying out of sight and trying to listen.
Okay. And old Rob, you're still enthralling the taller Ugog?
Yes. I have not gotten tired of telling stories yet. I have had a lot of practice. And usually by now in the bar, someone has bought me something to shut me up.
That's funny.
Which is not possibly how old Rob remembers it.
People are giving you stuff to pay for your great stories. I need to take a quick break to help by listening.
Actually, I was about to say we've been playing for about an hour. Why don't we take a break?
That sounds good.
All right. I'll hit pause.
All right.
In that case, I won't mute myself.
Hail, hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care? We all want to be here.
Well,
hail!
If it makes you feel better, we are coming up on the end of the introductory arc.
Oh,
so
cool.
Hopefully we'll be able to wrap it up within the next hour.
Sounds good.
Uh-huh.
And then we all stared at a green circle for 5 sessions.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're all here, would you please press the shiny red button?
I pressed it when I started singing.
And we're back.
Crab walk!
You are standing in the interior of a barrow. It's roughly round. These obviously used to be tombs, but it's been long enough since anybody's been here that whoever was buried here, they ain't here anymore. However, to your left when you came in was an alcove filled with burial goods.
And no stasis.
And you went up some stairs, or down some stairs, I can't really tell on the map, to a second barrow where on one side there is a stasis field holding many members of the town Dunmarch, where you came from. To the south is the Ugog tunnel, which one of the Ugogs is happily showing to Karasinda, while Old Rob is entertaining the other Ugog with stories about how sheep's bladders don't prevent earthquakes.
Oh no!
However,
I moved on from that.
Putting oil on top of water will calm it down. Devin
earthquakes or the water?
The water. Devin is keeping out of sight in a tunnel, and Adelina, one of these days I will get those two characters' names right. Adelina is examining the stasis field to see if her parents are inside, and they're not.
Is this a real staircase?
Yes. You may proceed up and down it as you please.
Is there light on the other end?
There is, in fact. Although there isn't the treasure room that it indicates.
But remember, you don't do it the other way around. You can't put water on oil to calm it down, especially if the oil's on fire. I've been told that sometimes eyebrows grow back. Sometimes they don't.
Sorry, I just realized those runes constitute doors on the map, and so I had to open them.
Oh. I am going to take a little peek around the corner.
Okay. Devin Garrow's sheet. Would you give me a perception check, please? This is not a magical perception check. With a target number of 9.
18.
18.
18. You beat it by 3. That's 3 difficulty classes, not 3 on the die.
Yes.
Okay. Give me actually just a second. I want to double check there's a minor effect that goes into play here, and I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
There's also a minor. They're singing a song called Diggy Diggy Hole. I believe their name is Windrose.
Yep. Good album, too.
The best part is that's a cover.
Is it? Okay, well, they still sound good.
The original song was made up by someone named Simon, who was one of the main participants in a group called the Ugogs cast.
Oh, okay.
But it has since been remixed into songs more than once.
All right. Devin, the cipher on your sheet that was a question mark has activated. You have dark sight for the next 5 hours.
Surprising and concerning, but also useful.
And in the shadows, at the very back of that room, have thoughtlessly not provided a token. That's not useful. I'm sorry. I don't want to use that. The excitement of finding a token.
This makes for great radio.
What the heck? In the corner in the back, you see a person trying to remain hidden. As you are also trying to remain hidden, I assume.
Yes.
The net result is that you see them and they don't see you.
That is how I would prefer it. Can I discern anything about them?
They look human. They've got blonde hair and nondescript features. They're wearing clothes like you saw the woodcutters wear.
But they're not someone I recognize.
They're not someone you recognize, no. They, in fact, kind of have the look of someone you wouldn't recognize even if you had seen them before. One of those faces, and by that I mean they could be anybody.
Well, if they're down here and they're trying to hide, that means they're probably not on the Ugogs side.
Okay.
So, I am going to creep out a little bit and make my way towards where they're hiding.
Okay. You're doing your best to be stealthy?
Yeah. Even if I want to maybe talk to them, I don't want to talk to Ugogs.
Fair enough. Give me a roll at 6, please. That's taking into account your sneaking skill.
Oh.
4. Okay. How far are you going?
I'm trying to head around towards where they are.
Okay. So you get to about... Is it okay if I move your token?
Yep.
You get to about here, and they turn their head and cover their mouth with both hands.
Devin puts a finger over his lips.
Their eyes are wide, but they nod. They're still covering their face with both hands.
He's going to come a tiny bit closer and sort of try to hold up his hands in a reassuring way.
Okay. The other person isn't making any move toward you, but they are slowly like relaxing their hands off their face, like they were afraid they would shout, and now they kind of feel like they have better control over themselves.
Yeah. Unless they stop him or start looking hostile, he's going to come in close.
Okay. They back a little bit when you approach, but not like a full square. They're not like pressing themselves against the wall or anything. They're more like, I don't want to be too close.
Yeah, that's fair. And he goes, "Psst. Are you from Revelton?"
Revelton? No. I haven't given these towns names. No, I'm from farther out. You can call me Jim. Karacinda, what are you up to?
Karacinda is just chatting with the one who's talking and trying to probably if someone has noted about the stasis field so that she actually looked over her shoulder, going, how many people are crowded in there? Is that a bigger room out beyond?
Oh,
that's good. Okay, go ahead.
It's not as big as this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More than that.
Right. How many? That doesn't seem like that's everybody, though.
Yes.
Because of course, well, where's everybody else? And there was the other town too. Did you do that one too? Or did somebody else do that one?
Did I do that one? What?
Take the people out and set it on fire.
Oh, there was too many to put in that room, so we put them in one of the other ones.
Oh, one of the other rooms.
And also the people from the other town are in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to make sure that we kept them separate. But I don't know why.
Huh?
But not separate. They're on different sides of the room.
To make sure that you knew which one came from which town?
I don't know.
And That's what the person in the shadows said. They have a name? They tell you your name?
They said he knows. What's it? Hey.
Oh, he's just talking to Rob.
He's trying to get the other one's attention again.
I am now talking about the difference between hay, straw, and grass. I don't know the difference, but I'm pretending that I do.
Fair enough.
Oh, he's just talking to Rob. Rob hasn't had anybody talk to her for a while, so, he gets like this. You bet he gets like this.
Hey, I don't remember his name.
He respects my stories. Unlike some people I know.
That's right.
The taller Ugog has sat down on the floor and is listening raptly. Karacinda, what are you up to? Not Karacinda, Adelina.
I'm going to come back over here, and I want to ask these two Ugogs. Okay, you're smaller than me, which I don't see a lot of. Are you full-grown adults, or are you children?
If I eat all my meat, then I might get as tall as him. There's less than an inch difference.
Okay. So children, yes? No?
They're either children or, they're clearly not particularly smart.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be that they don't have a concept of when they stop growing.
Oh, okay. She was just curious. Like, are we talking to kids or are these adults?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if you need to get any of these people out?
What do you mean?
You take them out one at a time, or?
I don't know.
What happens if you walk in there?
They told me to hit the thing, and then there would be a fire, and I didn't do that. And then they told me to, because there was enough fire.
Uh-huh.
And then they told me to hit the other thing, and all the people would come here.
Well, it looks like that part seems to have worked. And there certainly was enough fire.
See, that's what I said too. But he said I was supposed to hit it anyway.
No. If there's enough fire, having too much fire is like having too much of a good thing. Have too many sweets, you get a bellyache after.
Oh, like when I caught that whole deer, and I wouldn't let anybody else eat it. And then I got my tummy hurt.
Yep, that'll happen. That'll happen if you eat a whole deer. You eat the whole thing, and your tummy just can't fit quite that much, and then you get a tummy ache. So fires like that. You get too much of it, and, well, problems.
Devin, you can call me Jim.
You're from further out. Have you been here longer than others?
And I didn't see them show up. I was just going around the fairies forest, and I ran across these hills. But I've never seen a hill with a door in it.
And you snuck in here?
I wanted to see what was inside. I thought there might be treasure. And then I can hear them.
Here. It's going to be okay. How long have you been here?
Through the passage, you hear old Rob getting louder and louder as he continues to tell stories. I can hear him even now.
How long have they been outside? I don't know. Not more than a day. All those people in there. Are they okay?
They're going to be.
Oh, okay. That's good.
They're not hurt. They're just stuck. And we're going to do something about that. And Devin hands over his water skin, because if this person has been here for like a day, then they're probably thirsty.
Jim takes it and takes a drink. Give me a quick roll, please, and I'm not going to tell you what the difficulty is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, I got a 17.
Okay. He hands you the water skin back, and something twitches at the back of your brain. Like, there's something you should be paying attention to as he hands the water skin back, and it takes you a second to realize that what your brain is telling you is that his hand isn't quite touching it. It's really subtle, but there's like just less than I don't want to say a millimeter because they don't have those in this world, but less than a millimeter gap between his hand and the water skin, but it's there.
I'd like to report a bug to the dev.
From further out, you said.
Error.
He names one of the towns on the outer ring that I haven't named yet. I will, in fact, invite you to give it a name if you'd like.
Insert name.
Dunring. Given how terrible I am at naming things.
Okay.
Dunring 5.
No?
Too much confusion there.
I named 3 towns: Huson, Whatson, and Idano.
Yep.
And populated Idano with 2 families, the Abbotts and the Costellos. You should not trust me with naming towns.
Oh dear. Yep.
One of those was Burns.
Well, yep. All right then. I think I'll be honest here, I think this is a little off, but you're not hurting people. So, whatever it is you're not saying, you don't have to say it. Do you want help getting out of here?
I was supposed to be going to Revelton, but I mean, that's why I was coming down this way, because that's the easiest way to, because the path through the fairy forest, and I have to go through there. So I went around it, and then I found this place, and was my horse out there? You didn't see a horse.
Didn't see it, I'm sorry.
Oh. Wait. Oh, darn. At my tent. Right. Well, who are the other people? Are they your friends?
Friends, yes.
Okay. Are they going to be okay with the things? The I don't know what they're called. Those creatures.
Ugogs.
Ugogs. Okay. Are they going to be okay with the Ugogs?
Seem to be handling them all right.
My story
Right.
has shifted into a horror tale of, and then the scary old woman made them take a bath and wash their hair.
Well, excuse me.
Both of the Ugogs shriek at this.
Oh no.
Soap.
Adelina
course they had to
Caracinda, what are you
use soap.
doing?
Sorry, is that me?
Yes.
You're
Adelina and Caracinda, what are you doing?
Both of us. Okay. What am I doing?
Old Rob is holding court over the Ugogs. Devin is nowhere to be found.
I'm gonna ask whichever Ugog is not completely fascinated by old Rob's stories. Where did you get that little thing you were holding when you were, in our town, making fires? Who gave it to you?
Oh, hang on, I want to hear this part.
Okay.
Somebody told him they were supposed to say they found it. Sotto voce to Adelina.
Yeah, I'm like nodding my head.
But obviously someone gave it to them, because they admit that. I don't think they're quite operating with a full box of crayons.
What's a crayon?
Oh, it's thing you color with. They make them out of colored wax and you rub them on things.
Oh.
And you don't have any of them, do you?
No, I mean, you can't see colors in the tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people what could make them glow a bit, I bet. Bet they could convince some of the colors to glow. Seen that.
That'd be pretty. That'd be pretty.
You know, I bet one of the people in the stasis field might know about that. It's the old Mrs. Westwax. She's the one. She makes things like that. She probably know. Think we could find her and get her out?
Didn't she raise apes?
I don't know how to...
Pretty sure she raised apes. The airy apes. Oh, apiary. She had apiaries. Those are like small apes, aren't they?
Bees.
Bees.
Because with an A.
Bees.
Hey!
Okay.
After the A, you get the B. You got the apiary, and that keeps the bees.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. It's logic, that is.
I know. D.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You got the A,
Delightful.
B, the C, you got the D. Mm-hmm. So, how do you get people out of here when you need to? Like, you just reach in and pull them out?
No, I don't do it.
Oh, who does?
Nobody does. They're just there.
Well, how are you going to get them out?
I don't know. I was supposed to keep an eye on them, not get them out.
Why you got to keep an eye on them unless they're going to get out?
Well, it might break.
It might break? They might break?
Or the stasis field.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
Somebody just said keep an eye on it, eh?
This isn't the I don't know of I've been told to say I don't know. This is the I don't know of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell.
I mean, I knew a guy once who was like he was out chopping wood in the wintertime when he was told you gotta be too cold, you gotta come in, and he said that's why I'm out chopping wood so I can have a fire. And he stayed out too long. And when he came and he knocked on the door, his fingers were so frozen that like two of them snapped off. That's what I heard.
I knew an Ugog who didn't have three of his fingers because someone bit them.
That probably
Another
didn't taste
Ugog?
very good.
Yeah. It was me.
That happen often?
You do the biting?
No.
Why are you biting people? No?
No, that's gross.
That's right.
I don't eat talking things.
Well, that's good. Eating talking things get sick that way.
Do you want to see the other people
Uh-huh.
who can't move?
Yeah.
Certainly do.
He starts going this way.
Okay.
Time.
Follow along.
Go follow along.
Devin, you hear footsteps. EO, you're muted if you're talking.
Indeed. Devin is going to press himself into the corner as well as he can, and also, if Jim will let him, try to kind of hide Jim behind himself.
Okay, Jim looks at you in horror and smacks hands over his face and presses back behind you.
Devin attempts to pronk.
Yes. Go ahead and give me another sneaking roll. Let's make this a 6. A 9, okay. All right. While you are... So you're following the Ugog down here.
Yep.
Old Rob, when you get down into that room, would you give me a roll against a 6, please?
I just tried to go through a wall. I cannot Kool-Aid man.
Hooray.
I am not actually a GM.
Oh.
8. All right. Double checking something.
I am about to do something. I am not actually rolling this for a reason. I just want to see if it rolls. Well, okay, that was a time for a natural 20.
Okay.
Are you sure you're not rolling it? Maybe you should roll it. They should keep that number.
Devin, you are hiding Jim behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Karacinda and Adelina, as you come into the room, you see the Ugogs don't seem to notice Devin or Jim.
But do we?
The taller Ugog is still enraptured by old Rob's spiel. Actually, yeah, give me perception rolls at 9.
Who is this for?
Adelina and Karacinda.
Okay.
Got anything?
I can't math it right now. Is it a D20 or is it something else?
Yes.
Okay.
I am obviously paying far too much attention to the Ugogs to make sure that they're not doing something terrible.
Right.
You say that, but I know you love my stories too.
I cannot stand your stories.
Karacinda, there's Devin over in the corner.
After I made
you don't know what he's
Adelina.
doing, but no, Karacinda.
Oh,
there's Devin
okay.
over in the corner. You don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. Adelina, Devin is over in the corner, and behind Devin is what looks like a human. You know, the sandy hair, forgettable face, wearing standard village clothes.
Right.
Old Rob.
I'm going to move over a bit.
Over in the corner is Devin. And behind Devin is a tall, thin creature, humanoid, with dark skin, but not like human dark skin. White hair and pointed ears and fine features.
Do I recognize that from any of my stories that I've collected?
Let's find out. Go ahead and... You know what? I'm going to give you 2. Give me a roll against a 6.
Well, it's a 9.
With a 9, you do indeed. What you're seeing behind Devin is a Skai. Skai.
The mortal enemies of the ground.
Yes.
Which is spelled with a W.
Mm-hmm. The singular is Sky, the plural is Sky, like sheep. This is an especially dark one, but they have, and with especially light hair, it's odd to see a Sky with this coloration, but yeah, this matches the stories that you've heard.
Now, is there actually a light source in here, or is that just part of the map that we're not worrying about?
That is part of the map that we're not worrying about. The light is coming in from the staircases.
Oh, from the staircases.
And whatever you've turned on. If you want to spend an experience point, I'll say that you've grabbed one of the lamps from the mage tower.
Oh, nah. Old Rob would not have thought that far ahead.
Okay.
He's got a candle. He wouldn't need a lamp.
Would anybody else? Fair enough. Oh, you still have your candle?
Yeah. I had more than one.
Then, yeah, you can... Then, yeah, you've got a candle's worth of light.
So, you've been spending your whole lives living underground like this?
Are you ending the enthrall?
I am. Because I feel like I might need to use fast talk at some point.
Fair enough. Yeah, we live in the tunnels.
Huh. Well, I see how
you caught a deer once.
I see how that would keep you safe from a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And you did that stonework, you told me.
I mean, that's where we've always lived.
It's like, I can see its usefulness.
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
I can see its usefulness. Although, I gotta admit, if if I was underground, I'd probably end up missing the sky. And yes, that was forced, and it was deliberate.
Yes. And you see Jim's eyes widen just a little bit.
Old Rob is doing his best to be facing it away, and his position in the map is kind of, sort of facilitating this. He wants to wink in the sky's direction, but while the eye that's winking is not facing the Ugogs.
The Ugogs. Okay. Yeah, okay. Devin, you see old Rob wink after he says, "Miss the sky."
Should I roll something?
Yes. You know what? Just give me a roll. Okay.
That die rolled off of the left and right side of my screen before ending in a 4.
You recognize that old Rob there's something going on, and that is a word that, like, obviously Skai is a word that it shows up in conversation, but there is another word pronounced that way that's not spelled the same.
For some reason, he's making puns.
Yes.
I'm trained in puns.
Oh, we were training in puns, you were living in them.
You only adopted the puns. I was born to them. Raised by them.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, there are a couple different words that you know with that pronunciation. One of them is obviously the dome of the heavens. One of them is species from before the apocalypse that everybody thinks is extinct. One of them is a kind of magic ritual. You're not sure what Rob's actually getting at here, only that he's getting at something.
One of them is a type of blue.
To be clear, you auto-succeeded that roll. I just wanted to see how much you succeeded by. So you've got a bunch of options for what Rob is talking about, and you're not sure which one is appropriate here.
Well, in that case, Devin is going to keep trying to hide Jim.
Okay. The Ugogs are continuing into this other room. Hey, where are we going? Oh, I'm showing them the other people. Oh, wait, are we allowed to?
Of course you are.
Yeah, they knew about them. They knew about the tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
We knew about the tunnels. We knew the people were here. We knew they were in stasis. So it's just a matter of, showing off the cool stuff that you've been doing. I am definitely using fast talk here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is a free
you don't
ability
really need to roll for this.
Yes, I have an edge of 2 and it's an intellect 1 skill. I'm sorry, I talked over you.
Is there a thing in the middle?
I was just saying that you don't really need to roll for this.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to my fast talk. Cases. Sorry.
Also, I realized looking at your character sheet that it's not actually a skill; it's a ability.
It's an ability.
So you wouldn't need to roll anyway.
Yeah. Well, I could see how a GM might insist that a roll be made for certain things, but in this case, I'm just trying to use that ability to take the edge off of the wait. Are we sure we should be doing this? And get the idea that we're all friends here. I mean, remember when we talked about sheep bladders?
Sounds good to me. Okay, you're all in this other room. There are 2 more stasis fields in here. Behind the one to the upper right are a whole bunch of people you don't recognize. And they, again, are in the middle of panicking and stuck in time. Behind the one to the lower right it's about half and half. People you recognize and people you don't. Some of them are from Dunmarch. And some of them are apparently from Revelton. And Adelina, your parents do not seem to be in either group. Jen, you're muted if you're saying anything.
Sorry, I was sneezing and I didn't want it in the recording.
No problem.
Yes. So Adelina would notice that her parents are not in there and be like, all right, good, they're safe.
And the Ugogs are going on about how, they, when we hit used the devices, we came back and it showed up. And they haven't moved since we got here, but we're supposed to keep an eye on, because it's been a long time since anybody used this magic, is what they said.
Who is the Fae that told you to do this?
Well...
Oh, that's right. You said that your friend knew his name. Knew their name. What was their name?
You know his name. You know his name. What's his name? Well, since we're all friends here.
Right.
He said to call him Iago.
Iago. That's a name. You get a better look at him ever?
Yeah, he was, he was tall.
Uh-huh.
He had short fingers, short ears, but they were still pointy.
Interesting.
His hair didn't match his skin. It was not the same shade, but we only ever saw him underground. So we only see in shades of gray underground.
Well, that makes sense, yeah. There's no light, you can't see the colors.
Yeah, and he had long robes on, but, all you tall people look alike to us.
That's fair.
That's fair.
After all, we're all tall. Not that I'm as tall as some people, so I hope you don't think that I look the same as a tall person.
It just depends on if
a
you
person taller than me, anyway. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the taller Ugog comes over here. That they don't get much taller than me.
That's good to know.
He might still have some growing to do, but not much. Devin. So, are they going to come back?
Hopefully not quickly. Here,
and what was
let me.
What was that? The fellow with the beard and the hat talking about?
Sheep bladders and turnips and bats.
He talks about a lot of things.
I've known some people like that.
That's an out of context quote that is going to be funny for just the people in this conversation. But if I post it to Mastodon, no one else is going to care.
Oh, I don't know. I think that he talks about a lot of things is probably self-explanatory in why it would be hilarious. I do.
So, can we sneak out? Do you think they've got those big ears? Do you think they can hear us?
Not over old Rob, probably.
And I helped.
Come on, let's.
I have to get going to Revelton. I have an appointment. I have to meet someone. My horse.
Not going to be there.
What?
Revelton was taken.
Was taken? What?
The people in stasis. Shh.
Good news. You're going to get to see the person you wanted to meet in Revelton way faster than you expected. Bad news.
Indeed.
Bad news. They aren't going to see you.
Devin, Jim is following you pretty closely.
Well.
Not like closely, but...
Devin is a little bit worried about the situation, especially since old Rob was getting at something, especially since Jim definitely isn't quite what he seems, but Devon's not willing to risk not helping someone who needs help. So he's going to keep leading Jim out.
Jim has detached from you and is coming over to the stasis field. I haven't taken a close look at them. I came in through one of the other entrances. So they're stuck like that? Is that the Revelton people?
They're stuck like that for now.
So,
Dunmarch and Revelton.
Oh,
I hope we can help them.
But how do you know about who they are?
I don't understand.
Can you roll against a 9, please? A 2, okay.
Oh no.
All right. That's. How do you know who they are? Like, they're just people.
Well.
How do you recognize them?
Well, you see how their faces are a bit different.
What do you mean? Like,
well,
weird, different? Like, I don't...
From each other. Like how I have horns and she doesn't in there.
Yeah? No, I mean, this is... Okay, the GM may have forgotten. Did you tell him you were from Dunmarch?
Don't think so. I don't remember.
No.
Okay. That, I think, is the confusion, then. He's trying to figure out, how do you know that these are the people from Dunmarch?
Uh-huh. Devon is entirely confused as to why this is confusing, because, well, the towns got stasisified, and he said that, so he's sort of pausing and going, well, no, I mean, there was nobody in the towns, and there are people in...
Oh, they came from those towns?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, and Dunport, it knows? That the people know that nobody's in those towns anymore?
I suppose.
Devon, yes, this is...
Yeah.
A line of questioning. This is a line of questioning you were not expecting. And it is not... There's something off about it.
Yeah, there is definitely something off about it, and...
And I think there's a canon reason why old Rob would be leading the Ugogs over to say hello more. But dagnabbit.
Oh well.
I am burdened with terrible knowledge.
Well, I apologize for being a little bit suspicious-minded here, but that's sounding uncomfortably close to, and does anyone else know where you've gone?
Would you roll me against the 6, please? I'll give it to you. With a 5, I'll give it to you. His expression changes when you say that. Not like it's been sort of like general concern and concern for the people, concern for himself, possibly. But when when you say that you're suspicious, his face smooths out a bit, and his spine straightens a little bit. Well, I suppose I've gotten all I'm going to get. Thanks for playing along.
Well,
and he stands up and waves a hand, and you see what old Rob saw. Tall, fine-featured, pointed ears, dark robes, dark skin, light hair. But it was lovely to talk to you.
Skai the board game.
Well, some people care when other people seem like they need help, even when they don't quite match up with their image.
Well, I appreciate your consideration. Ute, Abe, to me, please. And from the other room, the Ugogs take off at a run.
Where you going?
No time to talk.
Chase
Follow
after.
Ugogs.
You heard
Pushing walls.
the Skai call for them, and you didn't know what their names were, but you do now.
Ute and Ube.
I was going to call
Ute and Abe.
and de Bergerac.
Abe.
Now all of you see what old Rob saw. Devin is... I'm not going to say face-to-face because this person is a good head taller than Devin. But...
You're a tall one.
This is a humanoid, fine of feature and long of bone, and tall of stature, tall and thin, with relatively dark skin and relatively light hair, and clad in black robes, or dark robes, I should say.
You took
Ute
the
Abe,
students, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Ute Abe, your job here is done. You can go home. All right. Are they coming with us? No. No, I'm afraid not. All right, well, I hope we get to see you again. Have a good time.
It was wonderful chatting with you.
Yeah, that was a good story. You should come down and tell it again sometime. And they run off.
Karasenda is back on the stairs and is quite possibly going to just sort of be staying right back on the stairs. Possibly a bit further back.
Well, I had to find out what you knew and what kind of people you were. I've heard such reports. The people in the town talking about how Dunmarch and Revelton were destroyed and all the people weren't there, walking around as if nobody could hear you. My goodness. I do see you got your equipment from the academy. How clever of you. Oh, and yes, I did steal your students, I'm afraid. They are the first part of the displacement. But, they'll be fine. They'll be fine where they end up, I'm sure. After all, it was quite a bit nicer back then, wasn't it?
You didn't.
So I hear.
You didn't have to kidnap everyone if you wanted to come live here too.
Oh, no. You misunderstand. It isn't that we wanted to come and live here too. You see, this land was taken from us. And we want it back. Well, I do anyway. So, so much easier if you just go. Not you, of course. But everybody inside there. He waves a hand dismissively at the stasis field. And they will be comfortable. They'll just, what's the term I'm looking for? Oh, they'll be history. Well, pre-history. I am given to understand that most of you don't know much at all about anything that happened before the war.
That's true. Youth these days have
an ability I would like to use.
Okay.
Do it.
I have an ability called Trivia.
It's true.
You can come up with a random fact pertinent to the current situation when you wish it. This is always a matter of fact, not conjecture or supposition, and must be something you could have logically read or seen in the past. You can do this one time. All the abilities renewed each time you make a recovery roll.
Okay. What would you like to know?
He's talking about pre-war history.
Yes. That is, in fact, something you have a skill in.
It is. And so I was thinking that I might know something about what he's referencing, not necessarily the truth, not necessarily something very concrete, but...
There were, in fact, legends of people before the war appearing out of nowhere and claiming that they had been displaced in time, that none of them ever knew much about the future, and these legends spanned centuries, and so all of them insisted that there was going to be that the world was going to end, but nobody knew when, and it wasn't until the war started that people started to put the pieces together. But since they were people out of time, or people who claimed to be out of time, it's not that nobody really paid attention to them. It's that they sort of got lost to history. The people themselves, not their stories. There aren't legends about what happened to them.
I suppose it would be kind of inapplicable to ask how long you've been scattering people across history. Sort of like asking how tall you've been working.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, that's, interesting. No, they go back before the war, but, it's, as far as I know, it's random. They might go back to 2 years before the war, or 2,000. But there will always be a society, and they will always have somewhere to go. I'm not a monster. I'm not sending them back to be killed. I'm not murdering them. They just can't be here anymore. And since the magic hasn't retreated that far, I can't put them anywhere else. So they have to go into time.
Have to is certainly a way to put it.
It is, and it's the way I've chosen to put it. Anyway.
Karasinda has been walking away.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And she's trying to figure out, if you just, shove this rock here with the stasis field, will that let people out? She's using a stick to do it.
No, in fact, it buzzes kind of like a Star Trek force field when you try and push against it.
There's a rune thing there, right?
Yes. Yes, including the rune. The rune is half under the stasis, the force field.
Mm-hmm.
And touching it has an effect as touching trying to poke something into the force field.
She's very annoyed and is going to be using scan to work on figuring out how to make this stasis field stop. How does she break this?
Okay.
Just while all this is going on.
So, are we in something of a cave, or what's the ceiling made of?
It's a stone and earth dome. Whoever built this built a stone dome and piled earth around it. And then some of the stones have fallen out.
Devin is a bit incensed, actually. Not just at what this person is doing, but at the fact that he's talking like has some kind of moral high ground when he didn't try to negotiate, didn't try to even see if coexistence might be possible, didn't act like anyone else's thoughts on the matter but his matter. And he's sort of reaching out and projecting that, maybe. And possibly a stone above the Skai's head might be starting to wobble.
Okay.
Now, you
I know where you're
here,
going with this.
young man. Now, I am not the most understanding individual I know. I'm also not the brightest, most intelligent, most quick with words, most easy to remember, friendly. Okay. Point is, there's a lot of traits I have that are not necessarily considered positive traits, especially if you listen to Karasenda for more than 5 seconds. But with that said, with that understood, as this goes on and on and on, I am once again using Enthrall.
Oh, nice.
Old Rob is not aware of any stones wiggling, but Old Rob knows that perhaps people who have some thoughts as to what to do in the situation might just need a little time. And if there's one thing that Old Rob knows how to do, it's waste time. He's been doing it for 40 years.
Well,
and he's going to do
Iago is paying attention to
a
you.
piece of his mind.
Iago is paying attention to you.
Devin would like to use Onslaught and apply a level of effort.
Okay. I don't remember what effort does here.
He is not using it to increase the damage, so what effort does here is ease the task by a level.
Oh, I don't think you have to roll.
It can do either.
Onslaught's an ability. It just happens, doesn't it?
It depends on the ability, and GMs can always ask for a roll if they think something is incredibly difficult. Because house rules.
It doesn't specify.
We'll just say it happens.
Oh,
Devin is angry
in that
enough.
case, applying a level of effort
don't worry about the effort.
Would increase the damage, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Page 167. When it's like point, you attack a foe using energies that assail either their physical form or their mind. In either case, you must be able to see your target. If the attack is physical, you emit a short-range ray of force that inflicts 4 points of damage.
Well, 3 additional points of damage.
Oh.
Sorry, you're reading the ability, I'm reading the sidebar.
Now,
It says I attack.
how I've interpreted this in the past, and I'm not the GM, so I'm not saying, here's the canon. I have treated abilities like this as something where a roll was still needed for them to succeed. And I looked at the difficulty of the target when determining them.
I am going to say that because you have a defenseless target, and because the target is threatening your students, I'm not going to ask for a roll this time.
That's fair. The difficulty was low enough that...
Yeah. The
All right.
defenseless and the circumstantial bonuses knock this down to a 0.
I'm an asset.
You can roll if you want to see if you get degrees of success.
I will roll to see what the degrees of success are.
That is 2 degrees of success. So you get +2 damage or a minor effect. So since you're spending a level of effort, that's 5 damage plus a minor effect or 7 damage.
Wait, what?
You got 2 degrees of success.
Yeah.
Which means you get +2 damage, or you can exchange the +2 damage for a minor effect.
Right, I don't want to exchange it for a minor effect, but shouldn't it be 9 damage?
I think
maybe?
we're using Ellie's
Onslaught
output
inflicts 4. Oh.
No, you're absolutely right. I was looking at Mind Slice.
Oh.
So 4 + 3 + 2 is indeed 9.
A chandelier falls in the background.
A rock falls in the foreground. Everyone dies.
Hopefully not
no, a rock. One of the loose rocks in the dome above finally gives way after all this time.
About 10 minutes of
and
storytelling.
Such is Devon's fury that it happens to be the rock directly above Iago. And it falls and plonks him on the head.
In a poof of red feathers.
Different
Wrong
Iago.
Old Rob, I'm afraid your enthrall no longer works.
What? Wait,
but Iago...
Are you listening? I've got more angry things to say.
Iago swears and puts his hand to the top of his head. All right. If you want to do this the hard way, then we can do this the hard way.
And another thing. You said they'd be safe, but this place is
I want my
apart.
students back.
You want your students back.
And probably the rest of them, too, not just their backs. That get messy.
He takes a device out of his pocket. It does not match the device that you have in yours. Fine, he says, and smashes it against the wall. And the stasis fields go down as everyone inside disappears. You want your students, go find them.
Has everyone disappeared from the one that Karasenda's at
Yes.
in the back?
Yes, everybody's gone.
She
inside the
swears.
stasis fields.
There's much swearing. Fine, she's going to come back.
Oh, and if you come back to Dunport, well, I'll tell the Queen you said hello. How's that?
You think we didn't know?
Well, with humans in Felta, one can never be too sure anyway. Knowing things has never been your forte.
Evelina wants to hit him with her hammer.
He's monologuing.
Them's fighting words.
In the immortal words of Seelan, not now, I'm monologuing.
Yeah.
Except he was in an
She does kinda wanna hit
force
him.
field at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason Iago isn't is because you caught him with enthrall before he had a chance to put it up. They're out there. If you can find them, more power to you. But I have other places to be and bandages to put on. Thank you very much.
Hit him with the hammer. Hit him with a hammer. Hit him, Adelina.
Let's try. Okay, how do I do this in Cypher system?
I appreciate the effort, but I'm afraid you can't kill him quite yet.
No, I just want to hurt him.
Break his leg. Break his kneecaps.
Break his kneecap. Just one. It'll
Just
do.
one.
He's got two of them. It's a spare.
This is what happens when he insults short people.
Mm-hmm.
For right now, I'm not going to make you make a roll for this.
Okay,
You swing your hammer and he catches it right before it would hit his... Like, you swing your hammer and it would hit his side, but he catches it with his hand. Ow! Well, I can tell there's no talking to you people. But, well, I'm sure you know where to find me. And he raises his other hand and snaps his fingers and he's gone.
Ah. Well, I hope his other fingers hurt then.
Yes,
Nobody
they
should
Found
be,
it. He had
nobody
plot
should
armor.
be doing this.
Well, the Ugogs are gone, the barrows are empty, and it doesn't sound like you can go back to Dunport.
We got a home base. Well, not here. Not here. This is the House of the Dead. We have a wizard tower.
You do have a wizard tower, and you are, as far as you know, you're the only ones who can get in.
If that jerk wanted to get in, and you'd think that he would have, you'd think that he wouldn't be down here hiding. By the way, everyone vanished out of the
Yeah.
shielded location. Do you know what happened with that?
I guess he turned it off somehow? I don't know.
I was giving him a piece of my mind, and then a rock hit him on the head, and he blamed us for it. Can you believe the nerve? By the way, you probably want to get out of here.
You were giving him a piece of your mind, and Devin was giving him a piece of the barrow.
He, strictly speaking, correct. That was me, apparently.
Congratulations.
No offense, but you're not that tall.
So what happened to everybody?
Disappeared.
The Skai smashed a thing, and then they all disappeared after he smashed it. I look over to see if there's any pieces of the thing that was smashed.
There are. In fact, they're small, but you can collect them.
I try to pick as many of them as I can find.
Okay.
I'll try to.
So I wandered out when he was... I was going to try and get them out of the place so that we could actually get...
I think
maybe get some reinforcements.
To make use of our distraction. No luck, though, huh?
That's right. I was going to try and get reinforced. No, I couldn't get in. It was all zippy-zap.
Did it make your hair stand on end?
Does my hair look like it's standing on end?
Does it?
This was not the same... This isn't the same barrier that was across the Mage Tower door.
Old Rob does not do much to hide his disappointment.
It was not pleasant, and I couldn't get the thing open, and I tried hitting that stone with my stick, and I tried to wedge it up with my stick, and it was not wedging.
Well...
And then everybody vanished.
Well, at least we know what we could do next. You
find
know
us
what we
that
can do
pointy...
next, right?
Probably go back to the Mage Tower.
Exactly. We don't need to go find Mr. Pointy Ears. Although, Mr. Skai, we really should have asked what his name was. Anyway, we don't need to go find him.
Iago.
We already pretty much know. Actually, I have a question. Can I retroactively make a roll if it involves picking up detail?
Sure.
I'm trained in seeing through deception. He was clearly monologuing, but when he talked about mentioning us to the Queen, was that deception, or is he actually a confidant of the Queen? That's what I want to roll for. I'm trained in seeing through deception, but also I have something else. No, I didn't pick up that skill. Never mind. That's the main thing. 14.
14 gets it. He seemed to be earnest.
We know where he is, or at least where he'll be spending his time. He knows that we have ties to the Academy. Sorry, Devin. We probably can't go back there. Not anytime soon. But he might not know that we have access to that tower. For all he knows, the Academy doesn't have access.
Academy said they didn't have access. Couldn't get into it.
Well, we don't know if he knows everything they know. Though he can apparently hide what he looks like.
Oh, is that what he was doing?
But that tower...
I half wonder if that was Queen Livia we saw.
That's a bit of a problem, yes.
And that was before I had the ability to see beyond, so I don't know either. Not that old Rob knows this or acknowledges it.
Right.
Are you heading back up to the tower while you're having this conversation, or are you staying in the barrows?
Probably.
I remember saying that we should block off the tunnel, the long tunnel the Ugogs dug.
Yeah, we should probably block that.
Yeah, there are enough fallen stones that you can at least make a barricade. It might not hold a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
What? Real quick.
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know how the rest of you feel.
Cranky.
Well, yeah, that's a baseline for both of us.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
But I don't hold it against the Ugogs.
No.
They're just being used.
They're following orders, basically.
Yes, they're clearly not,
masterminds.
Yes, or particularly discerning.
Nope.
I kind of feel bad for them, really.
So do I.
They went somewhere, though. They must have people they can go to.
Yeah. they kind of seem scared of that guy. The Sky guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sky?
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know.
I'm not sure we should block off any means they have of finding us.
Not all the way, but I think we should block it off enough so if we can at least come back here and determine if they're wandering around. If they've come back or not.
So there's plenty of ways we can do that without blocking anything. If we block it, they might get the message that we don't want them.
Do we want them? I don't blame them, but do we want them?
I would like to see them make better choices, but as long as they think they have to follow his orders, I don't want them spying.
Of course they think they have to follow his orders. They've never met anyone else that talked to them nearly as much as me. Where's the alternative?
Also, they might be... they might be scared of him.
And by any regard, I apparently tell way better stories, and I am, of course, using both of my hands to pull out the top edges of my bathrobe, like someone who's sticking their thumbs in their suspenders when they're bragging about themselves.
Yes, of course you do. You've got a lot of practice.
Don't I know it? Wait, was that supposed to be a dig? I'll take it anyway. So, we just take some loose dirt, put it around near the trail. If we come back and see footprints, we know they've been here. Simple as that. Right. Settled? Let's go.
Okay.
Up to you
This
all.
place is cold and damp, and it's messing with my left knee.
It's messing with my shoulders.
Let's get you out of here.
Harrison,
Yeah?
It's gonna rain.
let's take a look at the water in the Mage Tower and see if it's
Potable.
yes. If there might be anything in there to make it magically renewing or magically drinkable, because we're going to need a source of water.
That's true. Everybody piles out through the door.
Can't believe I gave some of mine to him. But
You didn't know any better.
I didn't know better, and he seemed like he needed help, so I'm not going to waste time regretting it.
What, that fella there?
Yep.
I'm not sure she's seen... Garrison has not seen him and his other guys.
That's true.
Therefore, what, he was hiding, acting like he was hiding or something? Fancy looking
Yes.
creature like that?
Well, he didn't look fancy at the time.
He
He
didn't.
seems to have some means of disguising himself with an illusion.
Wasn't that good an illusion?
I didn't even notice him. Of course, I was paying attention to the Ugogs. Just in case they were going to start biting or something, might have to smack one.
Don't be mean to them. They don't know any better.
Well, I know that now, but I didn't want a chance that they were gonna try to take a bite out of somebody. They got pointy teeth, and you don't know where those teeth been. It'd get infected.
They wouldn't bite you, you talk.
They wouldn't
Right.
eat me,
Right.
I talk. That's different from biting. Alright, one of them might not bite me. But I didn't know that for sure at the time, so I was paying attention.
Anyway, we got a lot of books to read.
Right.
That's the truth. Suppose we better get to it. We're gonna have to figure out where to get food, too. We got rations for a few days, but...
Well, you're the one that knows which plants to eat and which ones are ergot. So, that sounds like a...
Wonderful. I'm going to be walking around, stooping over to look at mushrooms, getting my back all out of whack, and you people are going to be lazing about the tower reading, huh?
Lazing nothing. You see how many books are there? We're going to have to organize a lot of them, so we don't end up reading the ones we don't need to read. Yet. Old Rob
I'm
has
going to
no
need
illusions
somebody to
about
carry a
Devin wanting
basket
to read
around for
only
me.
A few of them.
I would offer to help you look for mushrooms, but I think I need it to make sure that the organization is organized.
I'll help you with the mushrooms.
Thanks. Gonna need it.
Also, I've been carrying around far too many books at once and need to put these down.
You know what?
Well,
My
back we go.
headcanon of Devin carrying a stack of like 15 books after filling his satchel, nothing we've done would have required Devin to use his hands for anything other than carrying a large stack of books.
I handed the Skai a water skin.
You could have set them down for that briefly, or shoved them over into one hand.
I was not
off of
carrying a stack of books.
It's my headcanon. Doesn't have to
I was
be
carrying a
actual canon.
stack of books.
It will remain my headcanon. Doesn't have to be actual truth.
As we all trail back to the
Mage Tower,
Mage Tower.
which I'm not going to load because that will take 15 minutes.
Oh,
Oh no.
But
And the recording
do that
says
then,
2
yeah.
hours, 40 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
the Mage Tower does open, just like it did the last time.
Gonna
And
have
it's
to figure out how
just as you left it.
gonna have to figure out how to get another set of keys to this place.
Maybe the lamp will open it. Let's try that.
Devin, you had the same thought.
Old Rob was thinking of a different lamp.
But you can settle in the climate control on the tower is pretty good. It doesn't get cold at night. And it is getting pretty cold outside.
Don't touch
at
that
night.
thermostat.
This is that time of year.
I'm not paying the extra heating bill.
But it's warm, and the library is comfortable, and the water in the well is drinkable. So you have that at least. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
All right. Well.
Except here's what you don't see. Back in Dunport, in the academy, Professor Boda's door opens, and 2 people are led in by Roderick. This is them. Well, it claims to be. All right. Lock the door, will you, Roderick? Yes, sir. So, says Professor Boda, you're Adelina's parents, huh?
Oh no.
Good night, everybody. Before we go, does anybody have anything they want to plug?
Usually there's a couple of us.
I heard that.
Yes, Mom
Theo
writes well, I know
has
he
an
is Mom
ability
writes
that
books.
needs to be plugged in.
No, I do
No.
not.
It's a mouse, not an ability.
That's a reference on the
Video's mom writes
recording.
books.
At
Mhm.
ElizabethMcCoy.com. Dash your way there now.
Yep. And speaking of books,
My website is bookofjen.net. It's got a variety of things on it. Most of it is Diablo related. Sometimes it's other stuff entirely. You can find it at bookofjen.net. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is on its own website. New episodes come out every Saturday, and I got to start working on that right now.
oops.
That's okay.
Speaking of websites,
AaronBSmith.com is where I put all of these, specifically AaronBSmith.com/cogwheel. So you can listen to all of our various TTRPG campaigns. Each one has its own RSS feed, or you can subscribe to one RSS feed to rule them all. New episodes come out when this goes live. New episodes come out twice a week because I'm upping it now that we have a significant buffer of recorded episodes. But if you can't wait to listen to them twice a week and want to binge listen there's this little website, you probably have not heard of it. It's called Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/cogwheelgaming, you can become a patron and listen to everything uploaded the day I edited it. And you would join other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy.
And until next time, this is Ellie saying, I want more stories. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I made friends.
You did.
I'm just as surprised as everyone else.
Well, you're the speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for putting up with this going long. I was really hoping this would get wrapped up within an hour, but then people
don't
talked.
really work that way, you know?
I looked up at my third monitor at OBS, and also I'm realizing I'm still recording as I say this. I was thinking, it's going to say 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's a 2. Why is that a 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.